Hi, and welcome back. I think you're going to like this one. What you see is a pork loin roast made with Coke. This is an Old South Coca-Cola pork loin. Very yummy. So let's get to it. Ingredients. Oh yes, we do need some. That's some cooking oil, Worcestershire sauce, balsamic vinegar, bit of ketchup, soy sauce, brown sugar, some minced garlic. I didn't have the real thing. Dry mustard, Dijon mustard, some thyme, ground ginger, and of course the star of the show, can of Coke. So come on, I'm going to show you how to put all this together. We're going to make a marinade for the pork loin. Well, here's our pork loin. It's about 2.5 pounds, which is perfect for what I'm doing. Do we need a bowl? Into that goes half a cup of brown sugar, dark if you've got it. Next up is a tablespoon of dry mustard, teaspoon of ginger, and a teaspoon of thyme. Now we're going to mix all the dry ingredients together because we still have some more stuff to put in. About 2 cloves of garlic minced, that's about 2 teaspoons. 2 tablespoons Worcestershire sauce. That's a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. About 1/3 cup of ketchup. And 3 tablespoons of cooking oil. And here comes our Coke. 1 cup of Coke, fresh out of the can, or bottle if you got a bottle. Okay, it's just a little more. I don't think it would have mattered even if I would have just thrown the whole can in. I don't think it would have mattered much to this recipe. Stir it all around. Put that aside because we're going to bring out our pork. Now into a Ziploc bag goes the pork. And ever so carefully, and of course, I'm not the most careful, but we're going to attempt to pour our marinade into the bag without making a mess. Which, of course, as you can see, I rarely can do. Something always has got to spill out. But I got 90% of it in the bag. So we'll zip up the bag. There, that looks good. Now I need something to put it in, so this is what we're going to roast the pork loin in. You can do double duty. Into the pot it goes. Now this is going to go in the fridge overnight, turning every couple 3 hours. And here we are the next day. It's been soaking for quite a while. Probably about, I don't know, 16 hours I think. So it's had lots of time to absorb the marinade. Tried to be fancy about pulling it out of the bag. That wasn't going to happen. Just grab it. There we are. Now we need to put this in the oven. We're going to slow cook it, 275, for about 2 hours. Now, while that's in the oven, we get a little pot because we're going to make a glaze. So that is 1 cup of brown sugar, tablespoon of cornstarch, half a teaspoon-ish of dry mustard, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, to your liking, of course. And to that, we're going to put, that's 2 tablespoons of butter, 1/3 cup of balsamic vinegar, and here comes our Coke again, 2/3 cup of Coke. Now we got to bring this up to a boil because we're going to let it simmer and reduce. So stir, 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 get it all nice and combined. Now we've got to let everything melt and come up to a boil. And you can see here how it hasn't quite boiled. It's starting to get thicker. Getting a little thicker. Doesn't have to be like super thick, but it needs to be something like that. So here's our roast. It's been in the oven for 2.5 hours. Looks really good right now. But here comes our glaze. I'm just going to spoon it on top. Almost like doing ribs. Well, that looks good. We'll get it back in the oven for the last half hour. Oh yeah. And when it's done, it's done. Now we're going to leave it covered for 15 minutes before we slice it. And here we are. I can actually handle the pan it was cooked in without oven mitts. Let's take this pork roast out of the pan onto a baking sheet so I can slice it. Get the pan out of the way. And there we go. Doesn't that look good? Oh yeah, it smells good too. So we just got to slice it up. But there you have it. Old South Coca-Cola pork loin. It's yummy and really juicy too. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.